Well, welcome to another game of Precision Baseball. My name is Brian Hafferkamp. I am the designer and creator of this game. And in this game, we are going to continue our 2024 World Series with Game 2 in progress. We'll be picking it up in the 6th inning. It's tied at 1, and we haven't had too much going on, but let's do a quick game recap. One, it's Yamamoto going for the Dodgers and Rodon for the New York Yankees. So first inning for the Yankees, they had 2 on and got a strikeout and a ground out to end the inning. Nothing happening in the first inning for LA. Notable Shohei Ohtani. 0 for 2. He struck out in his first 2 at-bats. Had another threat here in the 3rd inning. For the Yankees, Soto gets on with a walk. Aaron Judge hit a single to right. And then again, a strikeout and a ground out ends the inning. Yamamoto has been good, although he is now down to, we got to make a decision on him, whether to bring him out of the game or not. He's down bottom end of the lineup, so we might see if he just gets in trouble a little bit. If he gets a strikeout, he's back up to +1, so we'll see. Another sort of touchy situation here in the 4th. He hasn't been perfect, but he has been good. So he walked the first 2 batters, or walked 2 batters, walked the Rizzo and Wells, and then gets a 6-4-3 double play, squeezes in a fly ball to right field for Volpe, and so that 6-4-3 gets him out of the inning. And then we get to the 5th. So in the 5th, Gleyber Torres singles. Juan Soto follows up with a single. Aaron Judge follows that with a walk, so we have bases loaded, nobody out. We get a liner to center field, and that was enough to, it was far enough to get a runner home, so we get a sac fly for Giancarlo Stanton. And then, again, another 4-6-3 double play, which gets him out of the inning. So Yamamoto has been good enough to get out of these situations. And then in the 5th inning for the Dodgers, they come back with a leadoff double. It was a hustle double for Kike Hernandez. There's an E3 on the first baseman, Anthony Rizzo. Very uncommon. He's a +2 error, which is way above average, actually. And for our errors, a +2 is the top column. So anything more than a 1 is going to be in the top column for the errors. There's only a 16, so a point, it's a 0.16% chance of an error. So that's, what is that? It's like a 984 fielding percentage. And so we have an error, which pushes the runner over to third, runners at first and third. We get an RBI single from Will Smith as he drives in the run. Hernandez from third. That pushes this guy to second base. A strikeout for Miguel Rojas. A liner to right field, which doesn't move any of the runners. And then the big play there, it was a fly ball to right center field. Aaron Judge goes back to the wall, and he's a -10. And so on a Rob home run, he has just these chances here, 1 to 100, and then 841 to 1,000, and he hit right here. He robbed Mookie Betts in right center field of a 3-run homer, and that just happened. I couldn't believe it, but that's really cool. So that instead of a 4-1 lead, it stays tied at 1. So that's where we are now. And wish that one was on camera, but it wasn't, and maybe there'll be some other great moments here. So it's going to be Rizzo, Volpe, and Wells up for the Yankees here in the top of the 6th. We're going to leave Yamamoto in there and just see how he goes. At a 0, everything is going to come off of the batter card, so hopefully it doesn't run into anything. He won't here. A 213. So we don't have to do this sort of matchup at the top. It's always going to come off the batter as long as it's 0. If he strikes a guy out, then it'll bump up to +1. Then we'll have to do it again. So Anthony Rizzo against a righty. 213 is going to be a ground ball, and that goes to the shortstop. 178 is an opportunity for an error. At shortstop, we have Miguel Rojas, who is a +2, so no error on the play. And that will be a 6-3 put out to begin the 6th. Anthony Volpe to the plate. 0 for 2. He was on with an error in his first at bat, and he flew out to right in his last at bat. 361. Help if we switch that, huh? 361 to Volpe against a righty is going to be a fly ball as he lifts this one out to right field. Sorry, out to center field, and caught in center field by Tommy Edman. Edman playing center field in this game. He was playing in remember what he was the last game. He was at shortstop the last game. So I've started to include the full defensive ratings for every player that got in on defense. So part of the files that come with the game now is I don't remember what I call it, but it's basically all the defensive ratings for that year. So because I only list one position on here, sometimes guys play multiple positions, like Mookie Betts right now is playing right field instead of shortstop, but he's rated here as a shortstop, but he's playing in right field. And so actually I don't think I've caught that before, so I have to switch that up. But I've had to do that with Kike Hernandez, who was playing center field, I think, in game 1. Tommy Edman is playing center field now. He was playing shortstop before. So if you got guys who are interchangeable like that, Gavin Lux plays multiple positions as well. So if you have some players like that who are interchangeable, those defensive ratings are all there for their range, error, arm, double play, etc. So if you have any utility players, they will be covered by that sheet. Just as a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to the channel as well, just click on subscribe. You'll get notified of new videos whenever they are posted. And if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up at any point. All right, next up, Austin Wells, 2 outs here in the 6th. 718, this comes off Wells's card. 718 is going to be a walk. And one thing that Yamamoto has struggled with is the walk. He's got 2, 3, 4 walks in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. Sorry, 5 walks in 5 2/3. So that has been a bit of a difficulty for him. 419 to Alex Verdugo. Verdugo's grounded into a double play. He's hit a couple of balls to short. I think that was 419. 419 to Verdugo is going to be a fly ball. And he hits this one. It's a pop up to second base, and that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning. So we'll go P4 on that. So the Yankees got 1 on, but they don't score. Yamamoto gets through the inning. You can see that you can pitch when it's on a 0, but you have a better opportunity of just counteracting, especially if you have a good pitcher on the mound. You have a better opportunity of counteracting when you have some stamina to play with. But you can push guys. He's at 27 batters now, so we pushed him pretty far compared to what his stamina was, which is, average of 20 batters per game. So he's probably, that's probably it. 6 innings is what you're going to get from Yamamoto. We'll have to take him out of the game after this. So Rodon is going to come up against Teoscar Hernandez, Freddie Freeman, and Tommy Edman here in the bottom of the 6th. It's tied at 1, and Teoscar is 1 for 2 with a single against a left-handed batter. He is a +1. Rodon a -3, so a 1 to 8 for control for the batter. And that's what happens. The 315 against the lefty is going to be a line drive. Sorry. 686 on a liner is a line drive to right field, and it is caught in right field by Juan Soto. Soto, a decent defender, +1, but he has a +3 arm. So, and next up is going to be Freddie Freeman, the veteran first baseman. He's 0 for 2. Against the lefty, he's a -3. Rodon is, and Freddie Freeman is a +3, so they even each other out. A 1 to 10 is going to be off Freeman's card. This is a pretty good roll, 820. 820 off a lefty is going to be a single, and that ball is a ground ball into left center field. It's picked up by the center fielder, Aaron Judge, as he wraps one past the shortstop into left center. Freddie Freeman on at first base with a base knock. He's just a 0 speed. Judge in center field is a -10. You know, they're pretty aggressive, so let's try to take second base here. So what we do is we add Judge's range plus his arm. So his arm is decent, but his range is terrible, as he's gonna struggle to get to that one. And so it's gonna be all on Aaron Judge to have to throw Freddie Freeman out, as -10 is less than 0. So he's got a 31 to 100. He'll get him at second base. The Dodgers are aggressive all over the place, so that's why that's their character. 661 is down here. It's in the red. Red is safe. And Freddie Freeman, hustling out of the box, takes 2. So that's the second hustle double of the game, as the Yankees defense is not great. You know, they're just not great on defense. Anthony Volpe is good. Alex Verdugo is good, but other than that, they don't have a great defense. Their outfield defense especially is, you know, it's pretty poor. So Soto, even with his good arm, he's still a -6 in his range, so he winds up being a -3. And then in left field, you got a good fielder. He's a +7, getting to the ball. So we got a runner at second base. So threatening, and Kiko Hernandez is to the plate. Kike against, he's going to be a 1 to 5 for control. It's a 4, so 439. I think that's, what is that? 439 against a lefty is going to be a fly ball. So that goes out to right field. 143 is a possible error. The right fielder is Juan Soto. Again, he's a +1, so no error on the play. As Soto makes the catch for out number 2. Let's see what happens on the base paths. If we have to, Freddie Freeman takes off, or what happens? 815, runner first to right field. That's a hold. Sorry, he's at second base. Second base. 815. Okay, it's still a hold with the runner at second base. So not a deep fly ball. And Freeman is going to hold at second base. Brings up Mac Muncy with a chance to drive in a run. Game tied at 1. Carlos Rodon. He is a 1 to 6. So the batter's 1 to 6 for control. This comes off of Rodon's card. 019 will be a grounder. And that ground ball goes to the shortstop. Possible error on the play, 056. The shortstop is Volpe. He's a +3, so he's going to make that play. And let's roll with the batter, a runner on base. 215. With a runner at second base, that's going to be a 6-3 putout. And I've been rolling for the catch and for the throw, so been doing both of those. So you could do that where you see if there's an error on the catch for the fielder, and then also is there an error on the throw to first. So I have been doing that in this game to see. Maybe bring even a little bit more realism to the game and a few more errors. But that's the third out of the inning, as the Dodgers get a man into scoring position, but they can't get him around to score. We're going to get a new pitcher for the Dodgers. Let me look through and see who we can bring in here in the 7th inning. All right, and coming into the game is going to be Blake Trinan. Trinan, right-handed pitcher. He's a -4 against lefties, which is going to help him against Juan Soto. And he's a 0 against right-handers. So not great, but the best multi-use option that they have, I think. Excuse me, for this particular situation. They do have Gratterall. Michael Kopech is in the mix, but he's a +1 against righties, so I'm not quite sure I want to bring him in against 2 right-handers and a lefty, and we'll see if Trinan can get it done. He'll be facing off against Gleyber Torres, Juan Soto, and Aaron Judge, so tough 1, 2, 3 here. And then if you get past those guys, you got to deal with Stanton, so there's that part. So Blake Trinan against a right-hander is going to be a +2, so 1 to 12 for the batter. This comes off Trinan's card. 684 against a righty is going to be a strikeout as he steps up and makes a play. So Trinan with the K. And that's going to bring up Juan Soto. Soto is perfect today. He's 2 for 3. I'm sorry, he's 2 for 2. He's got a double, a single, and a walk. And he's been lights out in this series so far. This is going to go to Soto's card. 289 against a righty is going to be a fly ball. He hits this one to the catcher, so he pops it up to the catcher. And the catcher's going to make the play behind the, or I guess in fair territory. So we'll call it a P2. It's not a foul out, but a pop-up just in front of the plate as he gets Soto up in the zone. Doesn't happen very often, but he got him. And that brings up Aaron Judge with 2 outs and nobody on. This will be 1 to 16 for Judge. And Judge with a 90 is going to be a rare ground ball from Aaron Judge. Only 1 to 98. So what is that? 9.8% ground ball percentage. So that's not a lot. But Trinan does throw a lot of ground balls to right-handers, so not uncommon. 779. That's going to be a grounder to the third baseman. And the third baseman is going to make the scoop, and the throw is good across the diamond, and that is a 1, 2, 3 inning as we go 5-3. That's Max Muncy at third base making the play. So 1, 2, 3 inning. We'll leave Trinan there for the 1, 2, 3 inning. And we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're still tied at 1, looking for the breakthrough here. It is Max Muncy coming to the plate. Carlos Rodon has I don't know, I went one too many here. So it's Max Muncy. Carlos Rodon has 1 on his stamina, and we'll see how he does. Trying to fight through the 7th. Max Muncy is going to be a, well, this won't be off Muncy's card, so 103 comes off of Rodon's card. This will be a grounder that goes to 249. That's a grounder to second base. Possible error on the play. Second base, we have a -1. -1 is 72 to 135. We have a 42, so no error on the play as he makes the catch. And let's see about the throw. No error on the throw. So we'll go 4-3 on the putout as Gleyber Torres makes a nice play at second base. That officially takes Carlos Rodon down to 0. He's facing off against Will Smith and Miguel Rojas, so not as scared about Rojas as Smith. So this will come off of Smith's card. And a 452 against a lefty is a line drive. And line drive goes to the second baseman. And the second baseman, Torres, makes a nice catch as it comes right to him. And that's going to bring up the 9th place hitter, Miggy Rojas. $132 against a lefty is going to be a grounder. And 808, that grounder goes to the third baseman again. Another nice play by Jazz Chisholm. Let's see if he makes the throw across. He does. And that is going to be the third out of the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Carlos Rodon. We're going to give him a +1 for that. And that's going to take us to the top of the 8th inning. Let's get another pitcher change. And we're going to bring in, I know I brought in Vesia yesterday. I'm going to do that again. There's a day off, so we played 2 days in a row. There's a day off for these teams after this. So bringing in Alex Vesia for the second game in a row. And that's going to be a bridge to, I can't remember who they're, I don't think it was Vesia that did the closing, but maybe it was. Maybe Vesia is the closer. So we'll probably have to bring in Kopech to get the save. So we'll go with Vesia right now. Still facing the middle of the order here. I'm not quite as scared about these guys. So let's see if Vesia can get through here this one inning. For Blake Trinan, it's 1 inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 K. Faced 3 batters, no wild pitches. And he'll face off against Vesia. Will have Giancarlo Stanton, Jazz Chisholm, and Anthony Rizzo for the Yanks. Stanton is a 0 against lefties. Vesia a -2, so 1-8. So this comes off Vesia's card. 746 against a righty is a walk. So Vesia comes in and walks the first man. So Vesia starts at 4, he's at 2. Brings up Jazz Chisholm to the plate. Chisholm is 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times, including a double play. This comes off Chisholm's card. 704 against a lefty is another walk, as they're very patient with Alex Vesia. Vesia not very good. Coming in for his second game in a row. We're going to have a mound visit, so we'll come out and give him that one. Runners at first and second with nobody out. This will be a 1-7 control for the batter, so it's off the batter. 393 is going to be a line drive, and that liner goes to left field and caught in left field. Don't imagine there's going to be much movement here, but let's check our line drives. So to left field with runners on first and second. It's all either going to be a hold or my choice, so we're just going to leave that be. And now we're facing off against Anthony Volpe. Can Volpe be... Can he take that Derek Jeter spot? Coming up big. Top of the 8th inning, 2 on, 1 out. Anthony Volpe to the plate against a lefty. A 769 will be another walk. And that's 3 walks in the inning. And Vesia has walked the bases loaded. We got Austin Wells coming to the plate. And I think we got to make this move here. I'm going to do that. So Dave Roberts has seen enough, and he's going to bring in Michael Kopech. Not sure if that's going to make anything any better. Kopech, at least against lefties, 36% K percentage. So that at least gives us a chance here. And he's got a 4 stamina, so he's got a chance to control this at bat at least. We got runners. We're going to play the infield in. We play the infield in by looking at our infield in chart here. So on a ground ball, that's what's going to happen. Obviously, if it's a line drive or a fly ball, that defeats the infield in. So Austin Wells against a righty he's going to be even up. So -2 against lefties, +2 against righties. So 1-10 for the batter. This comes off the pitcher card. 326 against a lefty. is going to be a strikeout. I told you, he strikes out lefties at a pretty high clip. Again, it's 36% K percentage against lefties, only 20% against righties. So he gets Austin Wells with the strikeout. That's a big second out. That means the infield can move back, and Alex Verdugo to the plate is a tough out. So against lefties, Kopech is a -2, and against righties, Verdugo is a +2. So they're even Steven on this one. Verdugo looking for the big hit. This comes off his card. 550 is a strikeout. No, a line drive. Sorry, that's a line drive against a right-hander. 794. That'll be a liner to right field. Let's see about the catch. The catch is made by Mookie Betts, and Michael Kopech comes in and weasels out of a very difficult situation. Bases loaded, 1 out. He gets a strikeout and a line out, and he keeps those Yanks off the board. So that's going to take us to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's tied at 1. Really good one here, Game 2 of the 2024 World Series. Again, if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. That's super helpful in just helping spread the word about precision baseball. If you want to check out this game, you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com. The 2023 and 2003 MLB seasons are available. 2024, which I'm playing here, will be available soon. And you'll also be able to get it at clarkandaddisongaming.com. All right, we go to the bottom of the inning. Let's bring in a new pitcher for the Yankees. All right, new pitcher for the Yankees is going to be Clay Holmes. He's replacing Carlos Rodon. 7 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. The 1 run was not earned, so I'm not going to give an earned run on that. I don't think he would have scored without the error, so that's how I'm judging that. 1 walk and 3 strikeouts, so not a heavy strikeout day for Rodon, but an excellent start. And it's a little bit of a shame neither starting pitcher is going to wind up with a decision here. So we'll see how this one turns out. Clay Holmes comes in. He's a -1 against lefties, -2 against righties, and pitched in 62, 63 innings, about a 290 FIP, 295 FIP for the year. 32% K percentage against 7% walk percentage against righties, 19% K percentage against lefties. So we'll pay attention to that. Shohei Ohtani has already struck out twice. Let's see if he can bring the thunder here in the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers looking for the big hit. Let's get over to Shohei. It'll be Ohtani, Betts, and Teoscar Hernandez in this one. Ohtani, of course, a left-handed hitter. He's a +5 against righties. Holmes is a -1 against lefties, so that makes a 1-14, and it's a 15. So this will come off Clay Holmes's card. 750 against a lefty is going to be a walk, and that's not a good start. Mostly because Shohei Ohtani steals at a +9, which is just ridiculous for a guy his size. And man, he can really steal. On the mound, we have Clay Holmes with a hold of 0, Austin Wells with a 3 on his arm. So we take that 9, we subtract 3. So we add the catcher arm and the pitcher hold together. That's the battery number or value. And we subtract the battery value from the base runner stealing value. And that gives us our final steal value that we use off the chart. And so it's a +6, and a +6 puts Ohtani stealing second base, steal in this category. So 1 to 100 he's out, or 981 to 1,000 he's out. Otherwise he's going to be in with a steal of second base, and that is a 0.67. Oh, and they get him. They get him at second base. That's why we play the game, and that's going to be a caught stealing, as Ohtani, aggressive on the base pass, tries to get there, and he gets thrown out by Austin Wells. Wow. Whew. Man, that's big time. He had 46 stolen base attempts against right-handed pitching, so that is definitely warranted to send him there. But he doesn't make it, and that brings up Mookie Betts to the plates. So there's some really big plays here. We got the rob of the home run. We got a caught stealing now in the 8th inning on one of the premier base stealers in the major leagues. 18 for Mookie Betts. That's going to come off Clay Holmes' card. Pretty sure. Yeah. 306 against a righty is a fly ball as Betts lifts one out to center field. And the center fielder is there. That's going to be Aaron Judge making the catch. So that'll be a couple of quick outs. So we had a walk and then an out. So Clay Holmes is at 1 for his stamina at this point. Teoscar Hernandez to the plate. Hernandez is 1 for 3. We got a high roll here, a 2. That could be real trouble. So he is going to be a 1-9 for control, the batter is. So this comes off the batter card. We got a 982, and that's going to be serious trouble for Clay Holmes as that's into the home run range. We'll see what kind of home run it is. A 3 is going to be a line drive down the line in left field. Gone if it's fair, and it is fair. And Teoscar Hernandez, look at that. He drives one out down the left field line, stays just inside the fair pole, and that gives the Dodgers a 2-1 lead. And the hometown faithful in LA are going nuts. We're going to have Aaron Boone come out for a mound visit to give Clay Holmes a little boost there. But Freddie Freeman is coming up. He is 1 for 3. And the crowd is going crazy in North LA. And so here we go. It will be a -1 to a +4, so 1 to 13 for Freddie Freeman. 658 against a righty is going to be a walk. And I think Aaron Judge is probably seen enough too, but Aaron Boone has seen enough. That's going to be the end of Clay Holmes' day. And at this point, he's going to bring Luke Weaver back in to try to stop the bleeding and get themselves out of this one, only down by 1. So Luke Weaver into the game. He saved game 1. And Freddie Freeman is at first. So 1 run in. We got 1 runner on. That would have been 2 if I'd have just left him at first. Tommy Edman to the plate. He's going to be batting left-handed against Luke Weaver. So he's going to be a 1 to 6 to control the at-bat, and it won't be him. So 259 to Luke Weaver is going to be a fly ball, as this one is lifted out to left field. The left fielder is going to make the catch. And that's going to be out number 3, as Verdugo makes the catch in left. But the big hit comes from Teoscar Hernandez, who puts a number on the board. It's now 2-1. Excellent game. Excellent first couple of games. First game was 3-2. This one 2-1 as we go into the 9th inning. And we are going to let Michael Kopech stay out there. We're going to ride that train. We might need Gratterall. You know what? Let's go with Gratterall right here. He's a -5 against lefties, so let's go and get him into the game. Gratterall. Vesia goes 1/3, 2/3. He gives up 2 walks, 3 walks. So no hits, no runs, 3 walks, no Ks. He faced 4 batters. And this guy goes 2/3 of an inning. No hits, no runs, 1 K. Okay. And so Gratterall is going to come in to try to save the game here. he'll have to go through them. So this is going to be Gleyber Torres, Juan Soto, and Aaron Judge for the win. So let's see how this goes. 2-1 is our score. We're going to top the 9th inning. We got a 14, and that's going to be a right-handers is not Gratterall's strength here. So 1 to 13, this still comes off of his card. 007 is going to be a ground ball, and that grounder goes to the third baseman, and the third baseman makes the play. The throw across the diamond is true, and that will be out number 1, as Max Muncy can smell it. Made a good throw across the diamond. Dodgers looking to tie up the series here at 1 and split it home. Juan Soto to the plate. He could tie this in one swing of the bat. He popped up to the catcher in his last at bat, though. He is going to be Gratterall's a -5. This is the guy I brought him in for. -5 against a +6, so a 1 to 11. This does come off of the batter card. It's a 0-21 though, so that's going to be a grounder. Can't hit it out of the park with a grounder, and that's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. Good pick at short for Rojas. The throw across the diamond is right at the chest, and that is out number 2, as the fans are up on their feet here at Dodger Stadium. Historic Dodger Stadium, a couple of historic places to play in New York and LA. Used to be crosstown rivals back in the day, but now they are cross-country rivals, and they're about to have a split. Let's see if Aaron Judge can do his thing. 1240 OPS against lefties, 1132 OPS against righties, 24% K percentage, but he evens that out with a 16% K percentage or walk percentage against righties, 691 slugging against right-handed pitching. Let's see. He's a 1 to 17 to control, so he's almost a guarantee to control this at bat. 169, however, is going to be a fly ball as he lifts one, and 101, he doesn't hit it very far, so he's going to pop this up to second base, and squeezing it for the out is the second baseman, Enrique Hernandez, and this is going to be the end of the game. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Brusdar Gratterall, and he is going to take care of the Yankees, and it will be a 2-1 victory for Los Angeles in this one, and I will come back with the totals. All right, so we are back to wrap up this classic. 2-1 is our score as LA wins it in the bottom of the 8th inning with a home run from Teoscar Hernandez off of Clay Holmes. Holmes is going to take the loss. Goes just 2/3 of an inning, gives up the 1 hit and 1 run. He had a couple of walks, got him out of the game. They thought they were out of hot water here. Got Shohei Ohtani on a caught stealing, a rare caught stealing. Wasn't easy. There's only about a, I don't know, 10 or 12% chance of getting him, 13% chance of getting him, and they got him. Then followed up with a fly ball to Betts, and then Teoscar Hernandez rips a line drive down the left field line for the game winner. Freddie Freeman got on, but Tommy Edman flies out to left to end the game, or to end the inning. The win is going to go to Michael Kopech, who comes in for 2/3 of an inning. He gives up no runs, no hits. Faced just 2 batters, but he got them out of a little bit of hot water themselves. They had bases loaded, and 1 out, and he comes in, gets a strikeout and a liner to right field to end the inning and to end the threat. So definitely a hard one. W for him. Gratterall comes in the 9th. He goes 1-2-3 against the top 3 in the order, Torres, Soto, and Judge. Not an easy thing to do, and that's going to be a big win. In fact, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits between those top 3 batters in this game, so that's a pretty good feat to come in and put them down 1-2-3. This series is going to be tied at 1 as we head to Yankee Stadium for game number 3. And I will continue playing out this series, see how it goes. I think this is how we sort of expected everything to go. One of the games, I don't know if it was game 2 or 3, was just an absolute blowout, which was not something that we expected. Game 1 obviously was a classic. But we've had a couple of really good ones here. Yamamoto and Rodon do not figure into the decision here, though both pitched really well. Yamamoto, 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run, 5 walks, and 3 Ks. Rodon, 5 hits, 1 run, only no earned runs, though, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. So both starting pitchers pitched very well into this one. and had some really amazing plays. The home run Rob here was a 3-run home run. So we had runners at first and second, and that would have changed the course and complexion of the game, although probably not the outcome. But Aaron Judge gets his big old body up over the wall and robs a home run. So pretty amazing out there in right center field on that play. And we got more of this to come. Like I said, you can purchase this game at clarkandaddisongaming.com. I'll put the link down in the description. And you can go and check out all the other games we have. So Precision Baseball is not the only baseball game. I have a quicker playing sort of basic app, basic strat style game called On Base Baseball that you can pick up. That's my first ever game that I made and kind of kicked this whole thing off. And it has been going strong for several years now. And I also have a printed version. That's the only game I have a printed version of. And so you can go and pick up the Pocket Edition, what I'm calling the On Base Baseball Pocket Edition. And you can get that at thegamecrafter.com. So I'll put the link directly to the Clark and Addison page, and you can see all of the seasons that are available for that. I just released 1972. I just ordered the proof for 1975, so that should be coming, and I'm hoping that will be published and ready by the mid-March or so. I think that is supposed to ship out early March, so we'll see how long it takes me to get that and proof it. So that'll be that classic 1975 season. I'm going through the seasons that are already completed for On Base Baseball. So if there are some seasons that you've had or been looking at for On Base Baseball and you want to wait, I will be finishing up those seasons. But right now we have 2024, 1991, 1986, 1980, 1972, and I think that's it for now. But the seasons that I have in On Base Baseball, it's 2016, 2004, 1998. I'm trying to think of some of the other seasons that I have. I had started 1979, I believe, but don't think I finished that one. 1967, I also have in On Base Baseball, so maybe that one will be next. So we have a smattering and a variety of different seasons, and I'll continue to produce On Base Baseball seasons. It'll always be the most recent season. So 2024, you can already purchase. You can play those games. That's been available since the playoffs last year. And with On Base Baseball, you'll get what I call the roster sheets. And it's basically a spreadsheet of all the players that are rated for On Base Baseball. And pretty much that you do exactly what you've done here. You can either write the players in using the score sheet that I can provide to you with the files in the game, or you can take something like this at DigiDugout that's pre-filled if you want to do as played lineups, and then you just input the numbers for the game. And for On Base Baseball, we use batting runs, defense, and speed. Those are the three sort of key metrics that we use for playing that game. And then we just fill those in just like this and play off the score sheet just like I'm doing right now. There's a game engine chart that you can use for On Base Baseball that comes with each set that you buy. Those are by decade. So you can actually download other decades in the free section at clarkandaddisongaming.com. And so you could play Barry Bonds in the 1940s, or, I don't know, Joe DiMaggio. What would he do in the steroid era in the 90s? So those decade roster sheets, the decade game engine charts, are contextualized for that particular decade. So I take a whole decade worth of stats and I create a normalized chart for that entire decade. And so it's representative of the 90s or the 80s or the 70s or whatever it is. So that's kind of what I'm always going for. Each of the players is rated the same using the same stats, but it's like, how do they get to those stats? That's really the difference. So that's why you kind of need to look at each decade or era and just kind of see, okay, there were more home runs here, but there were more triples. There were more doubles here, but there were fewer home runs, that kind of thing. So trying to contextualize the sport just a little bit. But the cool part is, since they're all rated the same, a plus 30 in 1922 is the same kind of run producer as a plus 30 in 2022. And they may not get to the numbers the same. There might be more home runs in 2022, but they are the same type of run producer. So that is the difference between those players. They can be, because it's sabermetric stats, that's the whole point, they can be sort of compared across time. So you can actually play those players against each other, or you can put Babe Ruth in modern baseball and see how many home runs he would rack up, because he's a certain kind of player, a run producer. He would be hitting home runs on the level of a Pujols or Mark McGwire or Bonds or whoever you want to talk about as a great home run hitter. And you could just see what he would do in a modern game alongside those sort of modern day sluggers. So kind of a cool concept. It's meant to be played cross era and all that kind of stuff right out of the box. You get also cards. Every player is going to get carded who got into a game. At least one at bat or one batter faced is going to get a card. And for the on-base baseball cards, the game engine chart is sort of transplanted and put right onto the card itself. So basically you just flip through the cards, you have the card, and you have the score sheet, and there's no need necessarily to transfer anything over to the score sheet because it's all right on the card. So if you prefer that, there's lots of players and you can cut them all out and have those cards. I don't have one right next to me, but you can look on this channel and you can find plenty of videos in the on-base baseball playlist. So I've got a ton of videos. This is my oldest game, so definitely check that out. I've got a couple of new basketball games that I'm sort of demoing in beta, and those are kind of fun. Up-tempo basketball is already in production. Super fun game. There's a guy, Max's Cards and Dice Dugout. He is on YouTube. You can look him up. And he's been playing 1974-75 ABA season. So I have a couple of ABA seasons for the up-tempo basketball. And I'm working on 1977-78 for the NBA. That'll be my first non-3-point season. I think I'm pretty close on that. I'll have to revisit it a little bit. But all my games, I'm keeping up with the most modern seasons as they go along. So I'll have to be working on play action football for 2024 soon. Don't have that one ready to go, but I did just release 1984 NFL, so you can check that one out. Play action football is a full play football game, but it cuts some corners in some different places and you can play a full game. If you're not keeping like every exact stat, you can play a full game in an hour to an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes. So full play-by-play football game. If you check out Jason Flash Football, he's got a YouTube channel and he's played play action football quite a bit. So you can check out his channel and you can get a sense of the flow of the game and how he plays the game. He plays it by possessions, which is totally cool. There's also a game clock that you can run off, 15-second possessions or 30-second possessions. So just different ways to play. That would give you more possessions and make the game last a little bit longer. But the way he plays it, it's an hour or less. He just plays a specified number of possessions. There's also a quick play game that's added into that. That's sort of a score generator game, but it's based off of actual statistics of drives that don't end in a score, drives that end in a field goal, drives that end in a touchdown. So drive by drive. And then you basically just kind of roll to see was there a field goal, a touchdown, or no score. And that way you can kind of quick play your way through games that you don't want to use. I've also got an online dice roller for that game, and I've got an online version of the game simulator. So basically just click a button, it runs through all the possessions for you. It shows you what possession happened, what happened on the possession. Was there a score? Was there no score? And then it keeps a running tally of that for you. So if you want to be able to simulate games in a season very quickly, all you do is input the offense and defense number, the adjustment number for each team. You hit go, simulate, and it'll simulate a game between the two teams. The simulations are pretty accurate. I've done multiple season replays, and especially the teams on the extreme are very accurate, which is kind of different. And then the teams in the middle, could have gone either way in their season. They're a little bit topsy-turvy, I mean, how many games could have gone either way for those teams that wound up 8-8, 7-9, 9-7. There's not a lot of difference between those teams, so you might get a little shuffling if you do a season replay and you do the simulation. You might get a little shuffling with those teams in the middle if you want to go that route. So a very fun game, and one I'm very proud of, and this one also very proud of. So again, 2024 will be coming, 2023, so last season, not the last one but the one before. That one is finished, and you can purchase that game for just $12. That's all that Precision Baseball costs. I recognize that there's a lot of printing in this game, so you're looking at just these 3 sheets here. That's a lot of printing and color. You got this sheet here with all your charts. It's a lot of printing and color, and you get every baseball stadium this way. So I don't know. I had Yankee Stadium, but I don't know what I did with it. Well, I had Yankee Stadium, but I'm not sure what I did with it, so I have to find it. But you can see that the ballpark card, it has the team colors, the primary and the secondary colors, and it has a picture of the stadium itself. So every stadium is represented on the sheet. So it's, I recognize that it's a lot of printing. You can see the cards are color printed. Obviously, you don't have to print them in color if you don't want to, but the color is a nice touch, and every card has color for this is the base running on this side on the purple, the fielding is in green, and then you have right-handed in red, and that's sort of consistent across everything, so it makes it easy to see versus right-handers, because everything in the game is based on splits, so you really kind of need to quickly be able to process right and left-handed. So the color has a point and a meaning. And then we didn't get into it too much with the base running, but there's a ton of options with base running in this game that we just haven't covered. So when you're going first to third or second to home, when you're going first to home, or even trail runner advancement, that's what all these numbers down here are about. And and it depends on whether the team is aggressive, normal, or cautious. And you get those numbers I thought I just saw it. So you get those numbers off of the manager tendencies that you can see here. So we have every manager of every team, including managers that got switched. So there were 2 managers for Seattle, 2 managers for the Reds, 2 managers for the White Sox. So you get both of those. They're sort of a continuous aggressive or normal between both managers, but you get their actual tendencies for each manager. So if you want to play the game as your Grady Sizemore, you can do that, because it shows how much above or below average he does certain things, whether he brings in more pitchers per game, pinch running and pinch hitting, does he do more intentional walks, or does he do more sacrificing or stealing second or third. So you can see their aggressiveness in the game and how they play small ball or do different things strategy wise, and you could try to match that in the game. And so you can see here that the Reds are very aggressive. So are the Dodgers. The Dodgers are very aggressive on the base paths. So if you see here, aggressive, cautious, aggressive, aggressive. So Not too many teams just kind of in the middle. You're either like real aggressive or real not. But just depends on what the base coaches are doing, sending players around the bases. So the game is pretty detailed in those areas, but it's not difficult. It's just a lot of things to remember. So I do add this gameplay sequences, I guess, sheet, and it reminds you how to do different things like taking extra bases or tagging up, or just the every at bat. How do you do the player adjustments? Once you do this 2 or 3 times, you'll understand it. And if you have any questions, I've got a pretty good tutorial series that I've started showing you how to use the game. I need to finish that this season and go through some of the finer points, but I think I've hit like sort of the big parts of the game up to this point. It's 10 or 12 videos, but they're all with just a few minutes long, so they're not super long. I think within 30 minutes or an hour you could watch all of them and get a sense of a little more detail about how the game works and how each of the different mechanics works. So most of the time, as long as there's no runners on base, it's going to be pretty easy to sort of move through the game. But as soon as you get runners on base, things change a little bit. As soon as you get into strategic situations, late game situations, matchup situations between batters and pitchers, you have to put a little thought into it. What do you want to do when your pitcher starts to get tired? Do you want to do a mound visit? You've seen those in this game when I was doing mound visits. That gives the pitcher a +1 and a stamina. And you can use those strategically. So I used it against somebody up here, Aaron Judge or somebody, Soto, because I didn't want the pitcher to go in with a 0 and it to be all on the batter. So I want to give that pitcher an opportunity, especially if it's a good pitcher, because you get a chance to roll off the pitcher's card. And the pitcher's and the hitter's performances on the tabletop are directly tied to their performance in real life. So if their Gratterall's facing Aaron Judge, he's not as good against right-handers as left-handers, and that's going to come up over time. It may not show up in one at bat like this one, but it will show up over time. And the same thing with Aaron Judge against right-handed batting. He's a little bit better. And if Aaron Judge gets the opportunity to control the at bat, he's got almost a 10% chance of hitting a home run. So it's pretty crazy. And 10% chance of hitting a home run is a really high percentage of hitting a home run, obviously. So you want him to control the at bat. You want him in there against not very good pitching, so that he'll control the at bat even more. You don't want, as a pitching staff, you don't want somebody in there who's going to give him more control of the at bat. So if you can cancel that out in big moments and situations, they dodged a bullet here with a pop out to the second baseman, but they haven't dodged the bullet against Yamamoto. It was 2 for 2 up until the 7th inning. And they finally got him out in the 7th inning. So you want to make sure that you're playing those percentages. It really makes you think like a manager in those ways. And with the splits, you've got an extra layer of thinking about things as well. So I know there's a lot of things to print here. It is a big game. There's lots of different pieces of paper that you need to print out. You don't use them all the time. I would say you're going to use this one. You're going to use this one. And you're going to use this one all the time. You're going to use the stadium card quite a bit of the time, and then you'll need to have these printed out just in case there's a line drive to any of the bases, or on fly ball, runner advancement on a fly ball. So those are going to be your main pieces of paper. The managers, you could probably get away with not having that. This is also runner advancement on hits to the outfield, so you're going to need that one. But most of the other things that you have are going to be, here's Yankee Stadium. I keep looking right at it and not seeing it, but here's the new Yankee Stadium. So you can see the dimensions out here. Those will come into play. These up here will come into play for robbing home runs, or for if there's a foul ball pop up with a rare, unusual play, a highlight play I call. And then we have all of the results here. There's even inside the park home run chance. Nothing particularly special. There's a line drive off the railing in left field. There's a couple of sort of specialized types of things. Into the left center field stands, into the center field stands, into the bullpen in right field. So I really tried to go through each particular ballpark, and if there's some special things, like not just a home run to right center field, but it's into the off the Budweiser sign or whatever it is, I try to make it specific to each ballpark, at least a few of the things. And if there's any sort of special ground rules, I looked in the MLB ground rules for each particular ballpark as I'm creating it, and I looked to see, are there any particular ground rules, especially in dome stadiums? They have some like funky ground rules if you hit the roof or you hit the trusses or whatever it is. So there's a couple of like real off the wall wacky things that can happen out there. Fenway Park has quite a few. Wrigley Field, you can hit it into the basket and stuff like that. Onto Waveland or Sheffield, just stuff like that. So I remember there's a game I used to play when I was a kid. It was a video game, and I can't remember the name of it, but I played it all the time. It must have been on PlayStation or Sega Genesis or something, but he'd be like, hit it on the Waveland Avenue. Well, that's on to Sheffield Avenue. So I just remember that in my head, and I just remember, Glen Allen Hill hit one of the houses across the street on Waveland. So it was, it was kind of weird. And every time I go back to the ballpark now, I think about that all the time whenever I'm walking around, or whether I'm looking over the left field wall or whatever. So it's like a lot of memories about Wrigley Field from my childhood that weren't realized till I was an adult. But I consider that my home ballpark now, Wrigley Field. So living in Chicago for so long. So that's it's got some really interesting memories that kind of weren't realized until I was older. So a little bit of a strange kind of deal there. All right. I think that's it from here. So the Yankees lose this one 2-1. LA ties up the series at 1 apiece. The Yankees won game 1 3-2. The Dodgers win game 2 2-1. And it's Teoscar Hernandez who has the big hit in this one. So a line drive home run down the left field line in Dodger Stadium sends the Dodger faithful home with a smile on their faces, and the Yankees will take a tie. They'll take a split back to New York and see if they can take game 3. Game 3 will be played whenever I have time to play game 3, and we'll see when that happens. And I'll try to make sure I put at least a little bit of the game on camera. All right, again, if you haven't subscribed, click subscribe. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. That's super easy. If you want to join the Facebook group, you can go to Facebook groups and look up Clark and Addison Gaming Company and answer a few questions, agree to the group rules, and I'll be happy to let you in there. There's some free files in the file section. Feel free to go through that and download. There's some games in there. They're full games. There are demo games to try. There are games that are in beta, and you can give me feedback on those. You can send an email to clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com. You can also go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and then click on the contact form and send an email to me through the contact form. Totally legit. I'll get back to you usually within hours, but typically within a day. And happy to have a conversation about whatever, about my games or philosophy or my journey, whatever you want to talk about. If you have suggestions for different games or have I thought about this, oftentimes I have, and I've just gone a different direction. But sometimes, I haven't thought of something, and maybe there's an extra something that can be added to a game. Typically, when I've reached the published stage, there's not a lot of huge sweeping additions to the game, although it has happened, like when I did play action football. Version 2 is greatly enhanced over version 1, so when it went through and redid everything, but I think that game is kind of set where it's going to be. So any additions would be download this sheet, and they're kind of additional rules that you can put on top of the game at this point. But I'm happy with where that one is. So you want to go check that out. Download. There's last year's Final Four teams in the NFL. You can download that as a free demo and play that as you get ready for the Super Bowl today. Hope your team wins. Most of us probably don't have a team in the Super Bowl this year. It doesn't seem like many people care much about the Chiefs and the Eagles, but hopefully you can watch it. That's been a bit of a, we cut the cord many years ago, and it's not always easy to get things anymore like it used to. So we'll see if I can even watch it. I think I will be able to, but I'm not exactly sure if I'll be able to watch it through a streaming service this year. All right. I think that's it from here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.